Thanks for staying on News Desk. Now, Member of Parliament for Adansi Asokwa, K.T. Hammond, is threatening to haul former rector of GIMPA, Professor Stephen Adei, to the Privileges Committee over the latter's comments describing members of Parliament as corrupt. Now, Professor Adei is said to have described over 80% of Ghanaian parliamentarians as corrupt, with some even going to the extent of demanding bribes for their girlfriends. But speaking on an Accra-based radio station yesterday, K.T. Hammond described the comments by the professor as foolish and scandalous. No, so how foolish can one be if he or she is stating the obvious? Joining me over the telephone lines now is former Member of Parliament for Okre constituency, Honorable Dan Kwekubochwe, who joins us live now over the telephone. Honorable Bochwe, thank you very much for joining us. If you can hear me, sir.
Yes, thank you.
So I was asking, what's wrong with someone stating the obvious, if indeed that is the case, that about 80% of your former colleagues are actually corrupt?
You see, I have serious difficulty when you say someone is stating the obvious. But what is the obvious?
No, the obvious, as in if someone says that is the situation.
And it's the obvious. Obvious means that you accept that to be the case, and many Ghanaians say that is the case, that 80% of politicians are corrupt. I don't think so.
So from your introductory comments, I gather you do not agree with the comments made by Professor Adei.
I don't think any rational. Who is the politician? From where? All assembly members, because they are the only thing that they are not partisans, but they are politicians. So why do you make this statement? Why people think that they are the only holy people on earth? What's the meaning of that? Yes, people are corrupt. Yes, corruption is a major problem in the country, and that we should deal with it. We all agree to that. But then don't go and therefore scandalize everybody, and make everybody so that everybody is guilty of corruption. So once choose to serve their country, then everybody is corrupt. I am not corrupt. I will never be corrupt. I cannot be corrupt.
So you do admit that.
I don't see why you should go ahead and make that statement. We don't have any fact that there's corruption in the country, and we should all put in our effort to make sure we end corruption. I have no problem with that. But don't go and say 80% are corrupt, and then go ahead and talk about asking kids for their girlfriends. I mean, how can you say that? I'm a member of Parliament. So when you say that, I travel throughout the country, I travel outside the country, that is the present people should have about me. Just because I have elected myself to serve the country, anybody I talk can insult me just because I'm serving the country. Why do you do that?
So, Mr. Bochwe, from what you say,
people respect themselves. They should also think that others also respect themselves. You understand? If you have any reason to believe that if I give you 1%, once you are putting percentage, that you know specific, report such people to the appropriate authority for them to be sanctioned. Don't go on ahead and just open your mouth and then scandalize everybody. So it's unacceptable.
So you think the professor was irresponsible with his comments?
Very irresponsible comment. It's an anchor to me, but it's a very irresponsible comment. And if he will have to retract and apologize.
Let me ask this. He's probably speaking based on what he has seen or experienced. So is it a possibility that he was...
Somebody of his stature. How could he have seen all this while and have not made any effort to report to anybody? 80% is once you put percentage rate, maybe that you have evidence, you have facts to support what you are saying. And why have you witnessed 80% of Ghanaians, politicians, and members of parliament being corrupt, and you are not taking any action? Why? When did they start? When did you get to know this? When did you start to telling the number of people who are corrupt? And when you got to 80%, it was not fighting enough for me to report it to the appropriate authority. Why did you just scandalize everybody?
Okay, so your problem has to do with the figures he's putting out, the 80%, but you do admit that a section of your colleagues are actually corrupt. A section of media people may be corrupt. A section of people talking to you from multimedia may be corrupt. A section of people anywhere may be corrupt. That's the issue. But when you say politicians, members of parliament, and you are talking of 80%, why have you not reported it? Again, what is the evidence? How can any member of parliament say that? I mean, what are members of parliament taking pride to do what? To do what? Okay, so at this point, let me cite some examples. Even some of your colleagues have...
He was asked that when you send a bill to parliament, for it to be passed in law, did they take money from you? What answer did he give? Did anybody take money from him?
Okay.
If nobody did, why does he think that somebody else did in the case of another person? I'm unable to put it together.
So Mr. Dambotre, because you brought that in, I would like us to refer to certain things. Now, former Majority Leader, Majority Leader Alban Bagbin has actually mentioned a similar thing before. That's one. Also, a member of your own party, PC Apiofori, even alleged that members of the now opposition NPP took about $5,000 each to see through the particular...
What you put up is that when you decide to make such reference, a very credible media organization, I mean, go to the whole interview. How did it end? How was he able to prove that? What did he say? Why should we just be happy that people make stupid statements, that we are all happy that people make stupid statements just to delegate people's character, and we are happy? Why? People make stupid statements they cannot prove. He said it. Could he prove it?
But they are your colleagues. If your colleagues come out to make such statements, what more proof do we need?
It doesn't make it true. I don't think I will have said that just because somebody works with multimedia, anything he says about multimedia is true. I don't think so. I don't think so.
I see. So as things stand now, Professor Adei has made these comments. Are you going to side with Honorable K.T. Hammond with the fact that you are going to call for his head in Parliament?
Prove that. My brother, he has to come and prove it. He will have to come and prove it. Okay, in this case, he has made specific allegations. He has quoted 80%, and they said that 80 asked for their girlfriend. On the assumption everybody has a girlfriend, and therefore they keep on asking to not for their wives, but they ask for their girlfriend. You don't make such statements subjected to theoretical. Do you know what it means? We are happy to be in an age of... So you cannot just make such a stupid statement, and anywhere I go, I have to claim myself. Why? Just because I'm serving my nation.
Okay. We'll have to leave it here. Many thanks for your time, Dambotre. We really do appreciate your time this morning. Dambotre is Member of Parliament for Okre constituency. He joined us live over the telephone with some details there. And what he's saying is that, yes, indeed, he thinks the former rector of GIMPA, that's Professor Stephen Adei, needs to answer certain questions in Parliament. He needs to prove that, indeed, 80% of parliamentarians are corrupt. Okay, we'll bring you much more on that subsequently, but away from that, authorities of Prempeh College say they are engaging with the contractor to make adjustments to the structural fence of the Opoku-Ware house. This follows the death of one student and the hospitalization of another after they both fell from the third floor of the Opoku-Ware house. Correspondent Erastus Aridonko joins me on the line now with more on this. Erastus, good morning, thanks for joining us. So, the authorities now want to make some structural adjustments. Tell me about this building. For starters, let's see how this building is and what kind of adjustments you are looking to make to it.
Well, if you have seen the building itself, you could see that in front of the balcony, you could see some metallic rods, about 3 of them, spaced enough interspersed between pillars to serve as a banister, sort of a fence. And they want to make some adjustments to this particular fence to either to go higher or to even block the spaces in between them so that they will be inaccessible for anybody to sit on or whether to lean over to prevent future occurrences. And so they are saying that this has been on the drawing board for quite a long time until even this incident occurred. And when this incident occurred, the Regional Directorate of Education has also made the same appeal, and so they are talking with some contractors to immediately look at readjusting the structures to prevent future occurrences.
Okay, Russell, so let me ask, so do they have to take an incident such as this, leading to the loss of life of one person, for them to actually realize that, indeed, we now need to do this? Because it's been on the drawing board, like you say, for some time now. Did they have to take this?
I asked the same question, but I was told that it's been on the drawing board. They have been considering it. Even they were trying to raise funds for it. And this incident is rather fast-tracking this whole initiative on the drawing board.
And where are they looking to get the funds, the needed funds to put up to make these adjustments?
Well, information currently is very scanty. This information was given me by the assistant headmaster. We tried to speak with the headmaster himself, consistently we were told by his secretary that he's engaged in writing a report on the incident to authorities, and he wants to be left alone. And so information from the school authorities is very scanty at the moment. Perhaps when we get a proper platform and not behind the scenes kind of information given, then we could be asking more questions.
Erastus Asaridonko, many thanks for that update. Erastus Asaridonko is a correspondent in Ashanti region, bringing us up to speed on that particular situation there. But that's how we wrap up on News Desk here on Joy News Multi TV. My name is Kwabena Chenchen. For more news, do all to log on to myjoyonline.com. Jennifer Jane Asante comes up shortly. We'll join us interactive. Do stay on.